If you were to receive a large inheritance or money from a lottery win, would you put all the money into the stock market in one day? Or would you rather break the trunk into smaller amounts and invest a certain amount regularly over time? Here's a simple question you should consider before the video begins, and we bet you will know what the more reasonable answer will be by the end of this video. Investing is very important. It is one good way to keep your income coming in. But with most people, the question is not about whether they are willing to make investments or not. Rather, it's about the kind of investments they should be making. For some other people, it is about the manner of investing. How would you make an investment that will require the littlest effort from you and won't cause you a nervous breakdown? Keep watching this video. It promises to answer all the questions you may have regarding investments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. When experts are predicting a recession in the year, is it advisable to add cash and wait on the sidelines until something happens while timing the market to increase profitability? This is where dollar cost averaging comes in. Dollar cost averaging is a strategy that most investors employ, and not many of them realize that they are using this strategy. Nevertheless, they reap the reward. What does dollar cost averaging mean, and how can you benefit from it? Dollar cost averaging requires a regular contribution, often from a paycheck, and this contribution is allocated to your retirement or investment account on a fixed schedule. The schedule could be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Others may choose to transfer these contributions manually because they are self-employed, or their employer may not offer them investment services. This method works but requires more time, thought, and effort, which isn't always a good thing. This method is especially less desirable for people who tend to get nervous as the market fluctuates. Market fluctuations are normal, so it's important to take emotions out of the equation by using an automatic investment strategy, which is very effective. If you invest in a 401k, chances are you're implementing the strategy of dollar cost averaging. As a matter of fact, dollar cost averaging is said to be the safest investing strategy that will only earn you the most money over time. Dollar cost averaging entails investing in a fixed amount of money in the same stock over time. In other words, the same dollar amount of an investment will be purchased regularly regardless of the asset. This might mean buying the same shares monthly or weekly or on any fixed schedule. If you contribute a specific amount of your paycheck regularly through your 401k plan, you take advantage of this strategy. For instance, if you have an IRA that you contribute to every week, the money is taken right from your bank and is automatically invested in the S&P 500 fund. It means you're already taking advantage of this strategy by making purchases of the shares with a fixed dollar amount on a fixed schedule. This fixed dollar amount price is regardless of whether the price of the S&P 500 goes up or down. Most people who use this strategy don't care much about what the price per share of an S&P 500 fund is at any point in time. As long as their money is there when they retire, it doesn't matter. This investment strategy is a fantastic one, and it is especially good for everyday investors. This allows them to profit from market dips and buying more shares when the price is lower, without the nerves some investors have whenever the value of their investments dip. This strategy couldn't be simpler, and anyone with a valid investment account can take advantage of this technique. Some individuals have their account set up in a way that the money is automatically invested when deposited on a predetermined schedule. This is the easiest way to use this method, as it requires no work or effort whatsoever. Although there are several investment opportunities many people are not familiar with, so they choose to go for the safest one they're aware of. There's a course for new and professional traders. This course provides expertise and tools to learn about the stock market and also sets people up to start trading. This course includes a master class, how to never lose money, and customer service to all traders. It's an opportunity you shouldn't miss. Just click on the link in the description below as fast as you can, because it's open to the first 30 people, and you set yourself up to earn more in the stock market. Now, other investors prefer not to use automation. This will require them to purchase shares regularly, manually. This manual method is more complicated because it requires time to make the purchases, and emotions are likely to be affected due to market fluctuations. Whether the purchases are automated or not, the same dollar worth of shares is purchased. For instance, invest $100 in the same stock every week. One week the stock might be priced at $10, and this will allow you to purchase 10 shares. The stock could be fixed at $20 the next week, which means you'll only be able to purchase 5 shares. The price could even drop to $5 per share, which means more shares to purchase. The number of shares purchased each time would vary based on the stock price at the time of investment. One key thing is to ignore the market fluctuations. Even if the economy collapses and investors are fearful and sell everything they own, ignore the fluctuations. When the price of shares rises, your money buys you fewer shares. And when the share price drops, your money buys you more shares. Automating your purchase will reduce the possibilities of panic when recession or TAML are constant in news headlines. The problem is that many small investors get scared when the market is volatile, and they sell their shares at the worst possible time. Then they start getting back in when things start looking good again. This mistake is very common during recessions. While the little investors are panicking, the large international investors are profiting tremendously in using bargain basement prices on their investments to their advantage. Warren Buffett once said that he made a large percentage of his fortune by taking advantage of discounted investments during the Great Recession and waiting for their prices to recover. If you employ a dollar cost averaging strategy over a long time, the emotion is left out of the game. And this gives you the ability to make money during times of turmoil, as well as the boom times. As simple as this method is, it is a very effective way to invest. As you buy more shares when the market is down, the average cost per share is reduced. This method is particularly useful for new investors who are just getting started. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Say you just got a large windfall of $100,000. Would it be wise to invest the entire amount in the stock market on a single day? Or will it make more sense to buy $10,000 worth of shares over a period of time? Investing money over time is less risky. This is because it is impossible to know what the market will do next. Investors have no idea how to predict the future of the stock. By looking at investment news articles, one would see that the so-called experts have wildly different predictions of when the next recession will occur. Stocks could drop due to looming turmoil or rise abruptly due to positive economic news. Dollar cost averaging essentially diversifies the price at which investments are purchased, ultimately lowering your risk. Investing the same amount of money every week will allow you to worry about other beneficial things, like your budget, family, or career. Most people are better off financially worrying about how to optimize their time, productivity, and income during their hours at work and investing automatically. We have seen it happen countless times. When there is a disruption in the stock market and pricing starts to plummet, small investors panic. They stop putting money towards their investments, and sometimes they go as far as selling all their investments. They only gain confidence when the market turns and fully recovers. Then they start contributing once again to this account. Unfortunately, the majority of the profit on investment has already been made, and they didn't get any of it because they sold their investments. This is not the case with automatic contribution. If you set an automatic contribution to your investment, you can keep your portfolio on the back burner while you go about your everyday life. For instance, assuming an investor deposits $1,000 on the first day of each month into index fund ABC, beginning in January. Like any investment, the fund will bounce around in price from month to month. If the investor keeps putting the $1,000 in the fund while the number of shares the money buys varies, profit will still be made because he is investing regularly. If he buys 50 shares in January, 62.5 shares in February, 3.30 shares in March, 58.2 shares in April, and 43.48 shares in May, he has bought a total of 298.1 shares for 5 months. And the investment of $5,000 has turned into $6,807. If the investor had spent $5,000 at once on investment, that total profit might be higher or lower. One can't tell, but by staggering the purchase, the risk of the investment has been greatly reduced. So now, if you consider the first question we asked you at the beginning of this video, you can tell what the best answer is. Let us know what you think about these steps in the comments section, and if you would put them to use. Leave a big thumbs up on this video if it has been of help. And if you're new to our channel, subscribe and turn on your post notification. See you in the next video.